First pitch of the game is a base hit. Jared Jarvis starts it off with a single up the middle. Calvin Castine at the Lester Rock Memorial Field, Plattsburgh Legion Field. 16-19. Here's Jamie Moore, the shortstop. World Warehouse at bat. Their opponents, Loreman's Pizza Palace. Hit to right field. One down. Jarvis will retreat. On the pitching rubber is Wayne Nussel. Mike Medor is behind the plate. At first base, Tony Hill. Second base, John Curry. Third base, Dean Rock. Shortstop is Kyle Rock. Randy Ebersole, today's pitcher, is at the plate. John Denny moves on deck. And a pitch to Ebersole. Looks like a can of corn to left center. It is dropped. It is dropped. He was worried about throwing it and did not have control. And Tom Jackstadt, Alan Rock, the officials. Here's John Denny, cleanup hitter. And extra hitter. Doug Stevens coaching at third base. John Coyer coaching at first base for World Warehouse and distributing. Denny hits it hard. It is misplayed at second. Denny will stop at third. Throw comes to the plate. Jarvis scores. Ebersole stays at third base, and on the ball getting away, Denny is able to go into second base. This is playoff action. There's Corey Russell, the first baseman. The World Warehouse took game one in this best of 5 series. Also hits it to left field. In fair territory, it is caught. Ebersole tags. Goes to the plate, scores, so it's a sacrifice fly. A runner for Denny. Looks like Moore, I believe. Christopher Castine at the plate. Two runs for World Warehouse. They lead as we head for the bottom of the first here on Hometown Cable. A look at the World Warehouse defense. Randy Ebersole is pitching. His battery mate is Caleb Castine. Tony Hill will lead it off for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. Fouled off, strike one. At first base, Corey Russell. Craig Castine's at second. Jamie Moore is at short. And at third base, it's Don Coolidge. Outfield, hit to middle. Outfield, Dan Trombley, Mike Castine, Chris Castine, and what else we got out there? Oh, Jared Jarvis. We're in the bottom of the first, 2-0 World Warehouse leading. Kevin Hulbert at the plate, nobody out. Man on first. Doug Stevens recovering from surgery, normally the pitcher for World Warehouse, but he's on the disabled list. This game being played on August 22nd, and at this point is doubtful as to how many playoff games we'll get in the Adirondack Slow Pitch League. The high school soccer season starts next week. That's ball 4, so the potential tying run is on board with nobody out here in the bottom of the first inning. Loreman has just contributed to Hometown Cable. I appreciate that. Jim Karen at the plate. Appreciate everyone's support. Had a fellow named Dave Loreman last time we were here. Eversole can't find the plate. Ball 4 to Jim Karen, so the bags are full. And Rick Merrill, the extra hitter, is stepping in. And there's still nobody out, so Loreman's looking to have a big first inning hit back to Eversole. He's going to come to Castine. And they get the lead runner. One down, good heads-up play by Eversole. Now Darren Utzler. Hits it hard. Fair ball right down the line. That's going to score 2. It's going to tie the game. Trombley's throw gets to the cutoff, and it's a 2-2 ball game with 1 out in the first inning. Now Kyle Rock takes strike 1. First and second with 1 down. Hit to straightaway center. Jarvis says he has it. And it'll be second and third. 2 down. And the third baseman, Dean Rock, will step in. Acts like he doesn't know the umpire. Left field line, Trombley is over. It's going to be out of here. Foul ball. 2 men in scoring position. That's fouled. And a great catch. Sign him up. Well, that's 2 strikes. See if he'll put this one up the middle. He does. Could be trouble. Craig Castine goes back, says he has it. He grabs it. So 2 for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. It's a tie ball game. It's 2-2 after 1 here on viewer-supported hometown cable. Donnie Coolidge will lead off the for World Warehouse. Looks at strike 1 on the. Let's see, in the outfield, we never got to the outfield for Loreman's Pizza Palace. That's a base hit. In the outfield, we got Jim Karen, and then we got Joe Rabideau, and we got Darren Utzler, and we got Kevin Hulbert. Now we've got Dan Trombley, the batter. Pitch. Right to right fielder. Coolidge tags and advances. 2-2 to score in the top of the second. Now Caleb Castine takes ball 1. High fly ball, looks playable in right center. It is caught, and we have a runner at third with 2 down. I'll bring Craig Castine to the plate. And the pitch, strike. 2 outs, man at third. 2-2 the score, strike 2 to Castine. Moose's pitch is out of play. Out of play, a third strike. It's an out. So, nothing across for World Warehouse. The score remains 2-0 after an inning and a half. We're going to the bottom of the second here on viewer-supported hometown cable. Second baseman John Curry looks at strike 1 to start the bottom half of the second. Eversole delivers. On the ground, up the middle, base hit. Jarvis will field it, and Curry will settle for a single. I'll bring up Joe Rabideau. August 22nd, 2007. A pleasant evening. Too much arc. 3-0 the count. Eversole's pitch is taken for strike. Looked like it was going to be short, but it was a strike. There's a 3-1 pitch to Rabideau. Inside, ball 4. So it's first and second, nobody out. Oyen Nussel, the pitcher. Ball 1. Strike. 1-1 pitch. Is going to be caught by Christopher Castine. Runners advance. Runners hold. There is 1 out. Catcher Mike Mador steps in. He takes a strike, hits the plate. 2-2 the score in the second. Too much arc. Randy Eversole not happy with the high arc call. Strike 3. Hit the front part of the plate. He goes down looking. That's 2 down, and that brings up the top of the order, the first baseman, Tony Hill. The pitch. Flares it foul, strike 1. Deuces are wild, 2-2 the score. We're in the second inning, 2 men on, 2 outs. Flares it to left field. Trombley completely misjudged it. Runners were going. The man at Rabideau there should have scored with 2 down. He had to have a chance to score. But he got the third on that, so. And Hill might have had a shot at second base there. I don't know. I think they might have thought it was going to get caught with 2 down. A run scored. Now Kevin Hulbert. 3-2. Loreman's leads. That's fouled. Into the parking lot. And no vehicle. It's always more fun when the ball hits a vehicle if it's not your vehicle. That's going to be deep. And Jarvis goes way back there and hauls it in. Turned about 4 different ways when he finally decided where that ball was going to be, and he grabbed it. So, a run for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. They lead 3-2. After 2, we're heading for the third here on Hometown Cable. Michael Castine, little first ball hitting, hits it into left field, rounds first. And he'll be on with a leadoff single to start things in the third. I'll bring up Jared Jarvis. It's going to be caught. Holy cow, what a catch by, I believe that's Usler. Let's see. What are the possibilities here? That's Utzler, yep, Darren Utzler. Turned every which way but loose and pulled that one in. So a nice drive by Jarvis, but it just goes as a long out, and Castine had to stay put at first base. Here's Jamie Moore, the shortstop. World Warehouse leading in the series 1-0, trailing in the game 3-2. That's strike 2. Deep. 1-2 the count. To second. It is booted. Throw to first will not be in time. Mike Castine will go to third. And we'll have runners at the corners with 1 out. Pitcher Randy Eversole becomes the batter. There's a pitch from Nussel. Strike. Tying run at third base. Too much arc. 1-1 to count. Now just short, so it's 2-1 now. High fly, so score a run.
Let it go to 2.
Utzler. Sacrifice fly for Eversole. Moore advances to second base. Mike Castine scores. So it's a 3-3 ball game. Man in scoring position for the cleanup man, John Denny. The right field, it is nonchalantly caught for the out. It's a 3-3 game. We're going to the bottom half of the third here on Hometown Cable. Too much arc to Jim Caron to start the bottom of the third. That's flared. Strike one. And popped up to the infield. Moore's got it. One down. Cleanup hitter Rick Merrill at the plate. Then Trombley coming in, foul ball. Strike two. Hit to Coolidge. Over to Russell. And there are two down. Eversole doesn't waste much time between pitches. As soon as he gets that ball back, he's delivering it. So that's 2 up and 2 down. Now Darren Utzler, the right center fielder, steps in. Strike one. That's a line drive to Trombley. 3 up, 3 down, nothing across for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. And it's 3-3. After 3, we're heading for the fourth on viewer-supported Hometown Cable. Here's Corey Russell leading off the fourth inning in a fast-moving ball game. First round of the playoffs. A division action in the West Plattsburgh League. Russell has put it over the Bills Auto Body Shop. He gets a free chrome dome if he wants his head chromed. He can go stop in the Bills Auto Body Shop and get his head chromed for free. 4-bagger. And it's a 4-3 lead for World Warehouse. There's Chris Castine. And he looks at strike one. Two strikes. Nussel in the driver's seat. 2 balls and a strike. High fly ball to left center. And that's 1 out. This is Don Coolidge, the third baseman. Too much arc and outside. So it should be ball 2, but only ball 1. There's a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. 4-3, World Warehouse leading. Coolidge hits it on the line. And there are 2 down. Tony make that Kevin Hulbert making the catch. That'll get us to the left fielder, Dan Trombley. Dan Trombley Jr. grandson of cousin Jeanette. And Ron, but Jeanette's my cousin, Ron's not. Two strikes to Tremblay. Hits it hard and through the right side. And Tremblay will stop it first with the 2-out single. Now, Caleb Castine, the batter. And the pitch. Strike one. Under it. A run on the Russell home run, and it's 4-3. Halfway through this one, we're going to the bottom of the fourth. Strike one to Kyle Rock. Eversole delivers. 1-1. Hit on the ground to Craig Castine, over to Russell, in time to get the speedy Rock. We have one down. And that'll bring up Dean Rock. That's a line shot to right center, and Christopher Castine makes it look interesting. 2 down. For the moment, we are out of rocks, so we go to John Curry, the second baseman. 2 outs, nobody on. Strike one. Eversole delivers. Up to short. More to that nice big target at first base, known as Corey Russell. 3 up, 3 down again, and we go to the 5th inning. After 4, it is World Warehouse 4 and Loreman's and the Pizza Parlor 3 here on Hometown Cable. Here's Craig Castine. He's leading off the 5th. He looks at strike one. Hit to short. Over to first. 1 down. Now I'll bring up Mike Castine. He looks at strike one. Top of the 5th, 4-3 the score. Fast moving, low scoring ball game. Short. That's out of play. 3rd strike, he's out. 2 down. Top of the order here is Jared Jarvis. And he drops it in the gap in right center. He's got excellent speed. And he's going to be in at 3rd. They're going to send him. Here's the play at the plate. He's going to be out at the plate. John Denny sent him. And Jarvis was out. Pizza Palace. Joe Rabideau will lead it off. The Loreman's Pizza Palace team has gone down in order in the 3rd and 4th innings. We're in the 5th. And Joe Rabideau says no, going down in order this time. He leads it off with a single. Oyen Nussel, the pitcher. the tying run on board. Hits it foul, strike one. Into the crowd with ever alert. They got out of the way. Too much arc. 1-1 pitch. Deep. 2 balls and a strike. On the ground, Eversole goes to short to the first in time double play. A pretty one, a 1-6-3 DP. So they're ready to call it an inning here. Went from Eversole to Moore to the big guy at first, Russell. So 2 down, and Mike Mador, the catcher up there. Wait a minute, that looks like James Jeanette. I believe this is James Jeanette. Hits it back to Eversole. He fires to Russell, and Jeanette is out. And it's a 4-3 game after 5. We're heading for the 6th inning already. Jamie Moore leads off the 6th inning with a shot up the middle. And he'll be in at second. Oh, look out. Gonna bring home some West Plattsburgh dust there. He'll cough that up when he gets home. So they'll put the man in scoring position for Randy Eversole. In the first game of this series, World Warehouse had a field day at bat. Moore scores, RBI for Eversole. That makes it 6-4. But so far in this game, the World Warehouse has not really gotten their bats going. John Denny at the plate now with a man at first and nobody out. Hits it to Utzler in right center. Eversole will stay put, and wisely so. That's 1 down, and Corey Russell the batter. That is deep, and it looks playable in front of the Norm Baker sign. Eversole will advance. Russell is out. There are 2 down. So right center fielder Chris Castine will step in. Eversole in scoring position. Castine looks at a strike. In the 6th inning, 5-3, low scoring ball game. Castine should drive home Eversole. He'll round Castine around first. Eversole will score easily. It's a 7-3 ball game. RBI single for Christopher. And I'll bring up Don Coolidge. Pitch to Coolidge is swung on and driven in to straightaway center. And be no advance. First and second. Dan Trombley stepping in. And the pitch to Trombley is just missing ball 1. Just missed the back inside part of the mat. Too much arc, ball 2. Utzler grabs it. So a couple for the World Warehouse team. We're going to the bottom of the 6th. Top of the order. It's a fair ball. Ball went over the bag fair. Corey Russell fields it. Makes an unassisted put out. 6-3 the score. World Warehouse leading. Although they Rabidou got a base hit last inning, Loreman sent up only 3 batters, so they've gone 3 innings in a row with just the minimum number of batters. And they've got 1 out here to start things in the 6th. Here's Kevin Hobart. And he flies out to right field. Mike Castine squeezes it. There's quickly 2 down. Will step in. Pitch from Ebersole. That was ball 1.
Good hitter behind you, Jim. Good hitter.
Ball 4. Karen walks. And Loreman and the Pizza Palace has a base runner. And a cleanup hitter at the plate. This is Rick Merrill. He's the extra hitter. It's off the glove, a bad hop single. And bringing the potential tying run to the plate. This is Darren Utzler. Potential tying run in a 6-3 ball game. Trombley grabs it. Nothing across for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. They strand 2 and we head for the 7th in a 6-3 ball game. Caleb Castine leading off the 7th inning. His team up by 3. Here's a pitch. Taking a strike. Sometimes that first pitch you see is the best pitch you're going to get. Under it again. Shallow left center. And there's 1 down. 6-3 the score. Craig Castine the batter. Strike 1. Base hit. Now here's Mike Castine. Alan Rock adjusting the mat. Line shot, it is caught. And there's 2 down. Nice arm there by Jim Caron. Well, with 2 outs, Jared Jarvis will step up, top of the order for World Warehouse and Distributing. On the ground, up the middle. Craig Castine will go to 3rd, and it's going to be runners at the corners. A 6-3 lead is certainly not a comfortable cushion. There's Jamie Moore, too much arc. Ball 1. Runners at the corners with 2 down in the top of the 7th. World Warehouse leading it by 3 runs, 6-3. Game 2 in the best of 5 playoffs. That looks playable. And it is. And we're going to go to the bottom of the 7th. It's a 6-3 ball game.
Hey, let's go. Hit here. Win it now, boys.
Andrew Castine has come in behind the plate for the World Warehouse team. Who we got here? We got Kyle Rock leading it off. 3 to tie, 4 to win for Loreman's and the Pizza Palace. 1 ball, 1 strike. From Ebersole. Off the base of the fence. Looked like they couldn't see that. Looked like. Like Mike Castine could not see that one. Running at third is meaningless in the 7th inning in a 3-run game. There's Dean Rock. That one's going deeper than it looked like coming off the bat. Suddenly the ball is carrying for Loreman. And it's a 6-4 ball game, and the potential tying run coming to the plate with nobody out. This, I believe, is John Curry. Not aware that they've changed him. There was Neil Latour, James Jeanette, and Morgan Stanton on the run with out of shoes here.
Who's on the bench?
Run without his shoes. Not sure that's legal. I don't think he can do that.
Last out.
Looks like they're checking the bylaws. Not sure what the complaint is here. If there's something.
Just let everybody know we're still doing the 50-50s till the end of this game. There will be a drawing. It's going to be over $200. We'll split it. Maybe have a couple.
I'm not sure what the. He's out. I'm hearing. I'm not quite sure what happened here.
Middle piece. Get to the right time. We might try that next game.
Okay, the problem was it was metal cleats. It's been a long-standing rule in all softball leagues that I've ever witnessed that you cannot wear metal cleats in the ball game. You cannot wear metal cleats. He was wearing metal cleats, that's why he threw his shoes away. So he is out. He is out, and Kyle Rock should be back where he was. He has to go back. So the Dean Rock is out. Or excuse me, John Curry is out. Dean Rock goes back to third. Kyle Rock has already scored. John Curry is out for wearing the metal cleats. Looks like Loreman's is going to protest. They're going to protest. They're going to do it right now. Bylaws say you can't wear metal cleats. You're discovered before the next pitch. Before the next pitch, you are out. And there was no next pitch. Oh, yeah, man. Now they're saying, come on, John. Is this John Curry? Was that Dean Rock that just got called out? I don't know. So I think it looks like Rabideau on deck. So I think there's John Curry. I think there's no run in. So it's still 6-3. Kyle Rock is at third. Dean Rock is out. That's a base hit. Now it's 6-4. One out. Tying run at the plate. And this is Joe Rabideau. That's a base hit. And the tying run is now on, so the winning run will step to the plate. Pitcher Wayne Musil at the plate. 6-4 is the score. Ebersol knocks it down, goes to second. The first not in time. Look out. Out at second. Out at second. Out at second. They're going to call a timeout here and appeal the play at second base. So it's runners at the corners. 2 down. And James Jeanette at the plate. It's going to be caught at second. So the tying run at first, and the last out occurs. 6-4 is the final. World Warehouse and Distributing defeats Loreman's and the Pizza Palace by a 6-4 margin. That's the way it was in Adirondack Slow Pitch League first round A Division playoffs on August 22nd, 2007. Thanks for watching and for supporting viewer-supported local television, hometown cable TV, worth your support.